everybody. I wish that we could be in person, but it is so good to see you, even if that is virtually. I'm Jen, for those of you if I have not met you. We miss you guys so much and have been thinking about you guys and praying for you guys daily, and we love you guys so much, and we are very excited for the day where we all get to be together again and we can all give each other big hugs and just hang out, and it'll be just a really great time. Now, normally towards the end of the year we get to have a really fun celebration to close out Young Life for the year, and typically we'll have 8th graders who are going to be freshmen next year come and visit and kind of get a small taste of what Young Life is going to look like for them. And also it's a really sweet night where we honor the seniors and we get to thank them for everything they've done and hope to make them feel really special, because they have been so special to us for so long. But clearly things look a little bit differently these days, so we're doing our best to try to make do. And I wanted to use this time just to give our seniors some words of encouragement as we go into the summer months and such, and hopefully we'll be able to see you guys again soon. But just really wanted to spend this time to talk to you guys and kind of think about what next year is going to look like and what those plans that we might have for ourselves and for what our lives are going to look like in some time from now, months from now, years from now, and all that stuff. I can tell you this, that when I was a senior in high school, my friends and I, whenever we would hang out, it seemed that most of our conversations were along the lines of, what is next year going to look like? What are the things we're going to be involved in? What classes are we going to take? And eventually that would evolve into us talking about like 10, 20 years from the future, and which sometimes was a little unnecessary, but we would just plan out so much of our lives and what we had coming for us. And those conversations were always really fun to have, because it was a fun time to kind of dream up of what our futures were going to look like. But sometimes it would almost leave me a little bit stressed to think, oh my gosh, I need these things to happen for myself. I want them to happen and I hope that they do, so what do I need to do to make sure that they do? I would be planning all of these things of, okay, I need to be taking these classes, I need to get to be a part of this organization, I need to make sure that I'm getting these grades, and still leave time for friends and leave family when I'm at school, but I just really need to be on the right track to make sure that everything is all good. Going into college was a little bit different because it's different than what you've known for your whole life. It's not high school, and there's definitely ways that it feels similar, and there's definitely ways to get into it, but it was definitely a shock, and I did have to change some things. And one verse that just hit me throughout my first year after being out of high school was Jeremiah 29:11, which says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. They are plans for good and not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope." And that verse has really stuck with me throughout the years, because being someone who likes to have things figured out, likes to have a plan, I know that sometimes my plan is not always going to be God's plan, and ultimately God's plan is going to be better. For you seniors, as you are grappling through this time and whatever next year is going to look like for you, whether that's you being at school, whether that's you taking a year off, or maybe you're working for the year and just trying to make some money, or going into the military, there's so many different options. God has a plan for you, and that plan is so special. And sometimes that plan, it might not make the most sense, and it might be pretty confusing, and sometimes we're not even going to be big fans of what that plan is, but we have the responsibility to trust in what God is planning for us, because what He has for us is super, super good. And when I look back on things in my life and I think about the times when I thought that I knew better than God because it was the plan that I had drawn up for myself, I learned pretty quickly that His plan is the better one. And I think that I can do it on my own, but that's not the case. We need a savior, and we need someone who is going to be rooting for us. So seniors, we love you. You guys have really wonderful plans ahead of you, and just because you guys are going to be leaving us for Young Life, it doesn't mean that these relationships need to stop. We're always going to be here for you. We're always going to be cheering for you. It kind of rhymed. That was fun. But we love you guys so much, and just know that as you go into the next year and the next few months of what the summer is going to look like, that you guys don't have to be afraid, that you have a God who loves you way too much to leave you hanging. And even if it feels that way sometimes, that He is patient and he knows what's good, and he's not going to leave or forsake us. So thank you guys for such a wonderful year of Young Life. I know that this whole year did look a little bit differently. We're really thankful that we have God at the center of it, and we're so thankful for these relationships, because the relationships that we are able to maintain, we know that those are by no accident. I think that we were all handpicked to be a part of this community, and that's a really special thing. So thank you guys all. Like I said, we are so excited to see you guys whenever that may be. Fingers crossed sooner than later. Thinking of you guys, praying for you guys, and sending you a big virtual hug from afar. So take care. Love ya.